Hi everyone, it's Jenny with Joey and Jenny's Little Yellow House. We're on YouTube and Instagram at Joey143Jenny. And then we're also on Facebook at Joey and Jenny's Little Yellow House. We'd love it if you would come along for the little journey with us. I am today going to reinforce these pages, try to figure out what I'm going to do with them, but really that's about it for now. Is what I want to reinforce them because I just don't want them to begin, scrapping up as I go through them and do other things. So that's what I'm going to do today. And I'm going to use some, I got some of my digitals out to use. I just love these, this Wildflowers kit. This is from Journal Davao, Davao, something like that. But I thought they looked very Edith Holden-esque. So I printed some out. I didn't print all of them. Some of them I printed duplicates, but I didn't print all of them. But look at how beautiful they are. Aren't they pretty? So I thought those would be nice to edge some of the pages. And then also they have this, Dave is his name, he also has the cards that go with it. So isn't that just so pretty? Yeah. So again, Junk Journal Davao. I'm sorry, I know that's not quite right, but it's on Etsy. And if you go to his Etsy store, you can probably just search Wildflowers and it'll pop up. It says Wildflowers 1, Volume 1. So I don't know if he has a second one coming. I did notice that he had I would consider this like spring summer. I did notice that he had some autumn in there. I don't know if that's called kit 2 or not. And then I grabbed my cotton and twig again. Of course, Roxy, Rachel's Roxy Creations. This is her blue kit. My mystery bundle, can't hardly do without that. So I'm just going to set these aside, but primarily to get started, I think I'm going to use the Wildflowers because I think they'll be so beautiful just to edge each page. So let's see where we're at. Okay, so this one I'm going to skip for now because that's, I don't need to do with that. Now I should have probably cut that, or I'll make this a pocket. That's probably what I'll do, is make that a pocket. Okay, this one's okay because it is just copy paper. This one feels good. We'll skip that one. Skip this one. That one. Well, so far so good. Now here's one. Okay, this one needs a little help, and I think we'll reinforce this bottom. So I'm gonna look here for one that has a colorful bottom piece because I don't want to just strip off a top. This one so far is probably the most. That's pretty too. Let's go with this one. It has some pretty words too. Okay. All right, I'll put that there. So, or let's see, could I do this? Maybe. Now I think I'm going to, what do I want to do? I'm all over the place. I think I'm just going to do a side like this. Maybe I'll use my deckled edge here. Like that. That. And probably won't put it all the way up there so that it, you know, we can still close the book pretty well. Well, I hope everybody's having a really good day. It's supposed to be extremely hot today. I know we keep saying that. It's probably just what's going to happen, you know, for the rest of July and August. It's just going to be very, very hot. I am going to fold that so that we can put it on both sides here. I think that'll be fine, but I think I'm going to put a little edging on here with the vintage photo. Now I just re-inked it, so it's a little bit crazy right now. This side's just straight, which is fine. I'm going to do this. I'm barely touching it because it is wet. Okay. All right. Got a new glue page here. Okay. So if anybody's following my zinnia saga, the one zinnia bloom that I showed when we updated my garden journal is now probably twice the size and bright orange. It is so beautiful. And then there's a gorgeous purple one that just popped up. And then there's one that looks like it might be a reddish color that's getting ready to bloom. Could not be more happy. It's my first time. Well, I don't want to say my first time. It's my first time growing zinnias here. And like I said, the soil is not great. We did put topsoil and stuff down, but once it gets past that with the roots, it's basically on its own. Okay, so here's another one. That's the one we did. Wow, I really worked on this one. We reinforced the middle right here, and then I, you know, let it kind of come over that way, and then we reinforced the side, one side with washi. But it's still very fragile, so I think we'll continue to reinforce that, and then I may go ahead and put something there too. So what do we want to do here? I think I'll use this one. This one seems to come a little bit closer to the edge of the paper a little bit more. So I think I'm going to do that one. A little room here. Maybe just take off this edge right here. Have to remember the secret to getting a fair tear, a pretty fair tear, is to really hold your ruler while you're tearing. And I'm not always great about doing that. So, okay. All right, so what's going to happen is we're going to go over this washi just a little bit, I believe. Okay, and I am going to go ahead. I'm going to try to knock some of these down if I can remember to knock some of that white edge down. Just because we wouldn't have to, but everything in this journal so far is very caramelized. You know, it's pretty old stuff. So I think this will fit in a little bit better. Okay. I'll knock that down a little bit. I thought this paper was perfect. I actually forgot that I even had it. Is that right? No, it goes this way. Wait a minute. What's happening? Yeah, it goes this way. I was super glad I found it. So, okay. And one thing is, you know, I forget sometimes to do this, but when you buy a digital kit off of Etsy, it's really, you know, kind of worth reading the terms, you know, for each one, because typically an Etsy seller will say, you know, something to the effect of you can use these usually unlimited in your own personal creations that you make or sell. But once in a while you'll find one that says for your own personal collection only, meaning you can't sell at, you know, like let's say you made a journal, you wanted to sell it at a craft show or put it on Etsy or something. Well, some won't let you do that. You can only use it for personal. That's not typical, but I have found that. And so on this one here that I'm using, it didn't say that you could use it for items that you sell. And although I don't have an Etsy right now, or I'm not in a craft show or anything like that, I mean, you never know down the road what's going to happen, right? And so I always like to just make sure that if I decide at some point to get into that, you know, the seller's market type of thing, I want to make sure that, you know, I'm not going against any terms and agreements, because once you purchase, you're agreeing to the terms. So I sent a note to this person because it doesn't specifically say that you can use, it says for your own personal use, but it doesn't say for items that you make or sell. It only says items you make. So I just wanted to double check. So I'm waiting to hear back to see what, you know, what clarification on that. And then some, like I may have mentioned to you before, I bought like 4 kits from this one person. I loved them because the kits were in specific colors. So you have a red kit, orange kit, blue kit. I may have bought 5, pink and green. And so bought the kits. This has been a couple years ago. Well, I went to, I only had printed a couple of things. So I went back in to look for it on Etsy because I couldn't find it on my computer. And I realized that it said any item made with the product cannot be sold. So like if you had made, you know, a junk journal with it and you were going to sell it, which a lot of times people do that. That's, you know, all the time people are doing that. Well, you couldn't use these digitals to do that. And, you know, I don't want to get confused. I want at some point to be able to, if I wanted to, put everything I own, you know, for sale if I want. I don't want to have to go back through and see, you know, am I violating terms? Now, I mean, it's not like who's going to know. I mean, you know, who's going to know? But I know, and for my own integrity, I want to make sure that I'm adhering to, you know, whatever it is. So that was a bummer because they had some really cute stuff. Okay. Let's see, a pair of scissors. I'm afraid I'm going to cut through that other one. Okay. I'm just going to knock that down a little bit where hopefully that'll stick good. Yeah, so I think this digital is going to be great for this particular journal. It just really goes well with the Edith Holden. Now that top one looks pretty good. This is kind of bugging me a little bit under here. Oops, oh my gosh. Oh no. Wow. I don't even think glue came out of that. Oh, I cannot believe it that I did that. Probably do it again. Okay, well, we'll fix that. another session of some sort. Oh my gosh. Poked a hole right through it. Oh my goodness, that's so funny. All right, so that one is scrap, or that's just copy paper. Okay, now this one is poking out a little bit, so I'm wondering if I think I'm going to reinforce. Maybe, let's see, what do I want to do here? I think I want to reinforce this part of it. All right, let me think through this real quick. So I'm going to put this like that. And then just have a little bit. Okay. What am I doing? Yeah. Okay. Let's try to remember what I'm doing here. Measure. There. Okay. All right. I think I know what I'm doing here. Doesn't seem like it probably, but I think I do. We will see. We'll see if I know what I'm doing or not. Okay. Now, which one did I need? Yeah. Ugh, that is really cracking, I think. I'm kind of just trying to figure it out, and so I don't think that's going to work. I think I cut it a little bit too short. What about this side? And that's perfect, except I wanted to keep this part. So I wonder if let me see here. I'm sorry. I'm just kind of like all over the place here. Okay, I'm going to do that, I think. And then I think maybe we'll do it this way. There's little words on here like journaling, kind of like Edith Holden. And so I'm trying to get those straight. So I think maybe I'll just do it this way. That'll help reinforce. Yeah. And this one, I'm just going to put a little thumb hole. No, it's not going to let me. Do I have a piece of scratch paper anywhere? Nope. Okay, and let's just cut it. So you can see I got my desk cleared off from all of the stuff I was working on, organizing, and I feel like I'm at kind of a standstill with the organizing. I've used, you know, all of the different things that I got to organize with, and so I needed a little break from it anyways. It overwhelmed me. I think I told you that. It was just like, oh my gosh, how much lace can a person have? So next will be so what I've done is I did go through, I'm just doing this on the edge because I don't know if I got it really good. I did go through the lace and I separated them by color. And so the next thing I'm going to do is then go through each box and decide, you know, is this something I want? Am I going to use it? Type of thing. But I just didn't think I had the wherewithal to do that while I was separating it all. You know, I just didn't think that I was going to be able to do that. Okay, now I'm just going to take a little bit off of this one. I didn't think I could do both at the same time, so I thought, ugh. But I'm sure glad to get it done. Okay. I think that's going to be better. Okay. Hoping we can get this book, you know, all the pages done today, but if not, I'll do maybe some off camera, and then hopefully when we come back, we'll be ready to start adding pages and decorating and things like that. Okay. Yeah. All right, so that's going to go there, but I think I need to go ahead and make this pocket. So that's a way that you can use those extra long pages that you put in your journal. You could just make yourself a little pocket here. Might need to trim that down a little bit. That's fine. Okay. All right. Okay, so I went to, I've probably been to the Dollar Tree maybe 4 times in the last 3 days, because I'm, you know, getting these little shoebox tub deals to put my lace in, and then I thought, oh, I probably should have gotten a couple more. So I go back, and then that one doesn't, oops, I hit my head on that. Sorry about that if I made you wiggle. And then I go back, they don't have as many. So then I go to another Dollar Tree, which is in the next town. So I have met the nicest people. Everybody's organizing. I met one lady. What was her name? Gretchen. I love that name, Gretchen. Met her. She was buying the same thing I was buying to organize her sewing. She was with her little granddaughter, who was precious. Little. Much smaller, much younger than my grandchildren. And, yeah, she was organizing her sewing, and we were using the same tubs, so like mine's. And then, yesterday, okay, I'm going to cut this real quick. I went back and I met a lady, Nancy. She wasn't using the same thing I was using. She was using some other storage that they had. And I mean, it's a really good price for, storage. She was organizing her garage. And in my mind, I thought that has got to be the nicest looking garage ever, because she really had some great storage things for it. And I thought to myself, what a good idea. Okay, so we have that one down. So that's going to be fun to, have something to slide in there. Be fun. Love that. Okay, how's this paper? Okay, it's a little yucky up on top. So let's grab another kind. And let's go ahead and just take the top off. So, yeah, I met some sweet, sweet people. It's interesting how people that are retired, when back to school hits, I feel like we're all at the back to school area looking for storage containers and stuff, because they're so great for projects or just organization, whereas the kids are using them for school supplies and their locker and things like that. But yeah, it's been fun. And I've also noticed some of my friends are using like the back to school little pencil containers, the ones that are kind of like the new cigar box. Remember how we used to take well, I don't know how old you are, but we used to take cigar boxes, or they had these little, they were like cigar boxes, but they had like a school bus on them, or ABC or whatever. We used to take those. So they're similar to that, only they're plastic and they have a nice lid that shuts. So I've noticed that some of my friends are, using those to organize their crafts, which is a great idea. One of my friends just posted that she used those little pencil containers. I wish I had one similar. Well, it's kind of like this, only much, much bigger. Much, much bigger. So maybe you can kind of think of what I'm talking about. And she's organized her embroidery threads. It looked beautiful. I used to embroider a lot. Now not as much, but I used to have an old spice rack with clear spice jars, bottles, whatever. It had like little corks on top. This is back in, early 80s. And I separated all my embroidery thread in there by color. Looked really pretty, rainbow color. The colors always look so fun when they're separated like that. So one thing that I never have organized, I've always just kept it in a big Ziploc bag, is my sari silk. I buy it on Amazon, and I believe it comes nice. I can't remember. But to me now it's one big wad, and I just open the bag, I pull what I want, and I clip it off. And you know, when you have all your necklaces in the bottom of a jewelry box that get all tangled up, and you know, you really have to think hard. Do I want to just dump the whole thing, or do I want to spend, you know, 8 hours and untangle them all? That's kind of how it is with the sari silk. So I'm not dumping it, and I'm not going to spend the 8 hours untangling it all. I am just going to leave it and pull out what I want when I want it. That's it. Okay. All right, so we're mending right along. So I don't know what's going to happen here. I think this one's a little bit frayed up here because that's where I tore it out of the book. Okay. Same on this one. We've mended that. I think this could use a little mending. Okay. Let's see if there's a page we haven't. That might be pretty there. Ooh, look at that one. Okay, so that's just about right, isn't it? It's hard for me to lop the top off. I mean, I know I could reprint it, but you know, you want to make sure you are the best use of all of that. And I think the greenery would look fine too. Maybe we'll just do the greenery. Save the other for like a pocket or something like that. But what's going to be nice is once we reinforce these a little bit, you know, they just won't be as delicate when we do want to put pockets or bands or something in it. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. So far, so good. I want to make sure I don't cover up. I don't want to cover up the 1914 on both sides. You know, it's kind of fun to see that. So I'd love it if you would leave me a comment. Do you all use an ink? Do you use like vintage photo or what have you, distress ink to, you know, distress the edges, knock off that white a little bit? Do you guys do that, or do you like it just, do you like the white? Overall, what do you think? If you'd leave me a comment, I'd love to know. Okay, I would say for the most part, not always, but I'm going to say for the most part, I probably do knock the white back. Okay, I think that's going to look good. We're getting there. We're getting there. It's almost lunchtime. And I had bought one of those. I'm on a kick of buying those rotisserie chickens. Do you guys ever get those? And I debone them and then just kind of feast, you know. Joey doesn't eat chicken, and well, often he doesn't eat it as often as I do. But I don't care for the white meat. Isn't that funny? I'll put that in the freezer and take it to my mom, which will be a nice ready-made dinner, you know. But anyway, so yeah, so I have a little bit. I have the chicken, it's in little pieces, and so I'll probably make like a chicken salad for lunch today. That sounds good. Okay, so we do have it preserved on one side, 1914. That's going to be nice. I don't know what we're going to do yet with this, so let's just leave it. Okay. This one doesn't seem to be too bad, so we'll leave that and see what happens. We can always mend it if we need to. Okay, now this little guy is very fragile. This is from 1948. It's wonderful caramelization. It's that kind of paper that reminds me a little bit of school construction paper. It's very, very porous, although it's very, very thin, very thin. So I wonder if maybe we could put something really pretty on the edges of these two pages here. Let's see. Already cut that one up. Already cut that one up. That's very pretty. Could do that on one of the edges. Okay, let's do this one on this edge. Maybe there's enough to do on both. I think there's enough to do on both edges. Let's see. Just get that edge off here if I can. I'd like to just give it one quick rip, but on this kind of slick surface that I have, it'll move, so I have to really move my hand a little bit to keep it tearing well. I think if I had a more porous, like maybe just a matte, you know, I think it would be better to not have to keep adjusting, but I think it's fine for... Okay, so then I'm going to just take well, let's see how long do I want that? About right there. Okay. And we're just band-aiding it up, and I think it'll add some, you know, pretty color to everything too. And I'm just going to split this down the middle. Just make sure I have it kind of straight, Okay. Fold them. It's not very straight. Okay. Boy, we had a storm come through on Saturday night. We have branches down, not major branches, although I haven't gone to the back acreage to check. Joey said he had so much to clean up and do with just our yard that he hadn't made it back to the acreage either. So I'm kind of, maybe at lunch I'll take a walk back there, put my boots on and go back there and see if we have anything down. But I could hear him out there with the power saw or whatever it's called, chainsaw, sawing up limbs and stuff that he had gotten off the ground. So it'll be a nice little walk. It's very hot out, but with all the trees we have in the back, it really cuts it. I'm wondering about how much does it cut being in the shade. I would say, golly, probably, I don't know, maybe 6 or 8 degrees or so. It's going to be up in the hundreds today, I think. Hundreds, not hundreds. 100. Not like 250 or anything like that, but maybe once it gets past 100, you wouldn't notice if it was 250. Okay, here we go. This, I think, will stop here in the middle. Be a good place to stop. And oh, about out of perfect timing, about out of glue too. I have to get a new glue stick. Still have some of those that my sister-in-law gave me for Christmas, so I'll be unwrapping one of those. Okay. That's pretty, huh? Yeah. It adds a nice, there it is. Adds a nice little color and protection to that page. And I love that little page. It's so sweet. I don't know, something about little things, you know. So cute. Okay, I'm scraping the bottom, but we got it. Oh no, did I make it to go over that? Oh, is it gonna go over on this side too? I made it too wide. Too wide. Let's see, what can I do? I need to trim it down, but it's wet. Let's see, it's going to go like that. So I think I'm going to trim this side down. I hope it doesn't stick too far to the... So as long as I have one side with the date, I think I'm going to be okay. I like the date, you know, I think it's neat. Oh, I don't know if it's going to tear with all that glue. Let's see. Ah! Okay. So there is glue, but it really isn't super sticky. Just sticky enough to where it would stick on the desk and probably rip the paper. Okay. Now let's see what happens. Okay. All right, so I chose to put the little side on this. Bend it a little bit on this side. So that when you open the middle of the book, it's the same. Ah. Some reason that didn't get all the way down. Okay, I think it turned out pretty cute. I'll keep reinforcing some of these pages, you know, like this one at the top. Some of them I'll fold in as needed. This one again needs some at the bottom. It's already ripping. Isn't that pretty? I love it. Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. And don't forget, we pray blessings over you, and we want you to know that you're so loved. So have a great day, And go out and smile big for everybody and for yourself. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.